Right on, folks. Here we are again, another episode of Talking Shit with Sid. Long-time friends, people in the house. We got him here. You know him, Jeremy J-Rock Williams.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? Heavy metal family for life, HWA, handicap with attitude.
That's
y'all know what it is.
That's it for sure. If you are from Atlanta and you attend metal shows, you know Jeremy.
Hell yeah.
He's out at most shows with the biggest smile on his face, happy to see everybody. And if you're not careful, you might get hit by him in the pit because he just
Exactly.
So what you been up to, man? How's life been treating you lately?
I've just been chilling, man. I've been, writing music and writing poetry and stuff like that. I got some new stuff, that I've been working on as far as writing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. I think this pandemic is a great time. During the pandemic was a great time to create. So yeah, definitely.
That's really what dope. Anybody that wasn't creating during the pandemic, I think you wasted a lot of good time because that was what you should have been doing instead of sitting back, woe is me about things, just to try to create stuff. I think I look forward to seeing what you've come up with too. I think
and just even using your imagination and getting in touch with your creative mindset is really good instead of just sitting at home watching. I do watch Netflix and all the other shows, but it's just like sit down, and just get into your imagination and see what you come up with.
Right. Well, I mean, it was easy during that pandemic to get overwhelmed and just how just shitty things were, man. Not seeing our friends, not seeing people. Yeah, not getting together. Yeah, no, she's exactly right.
Definitely. It's like you can't do nothing during the pandemic, and it's like definitely it was very like weird, like how my mom said you couldn't do nothing. You couldn't go to the movies. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't, But now it's opening up, and people are getting their vaccinations, which is really cool. And I'm like, man, stay safe, But we still got to stay safe, you know what I'm saying? We still got to be aware and consciousness of things.
Yeah, and I know you two were definitely, I tried to get you in a little sooner on that, but you were definitely minding your P's and Q's and being safe out there.
Hell yeah.
Which I don't blame you one bit.
Hell yeah.
So what types of things besides writing were you guys doing to keep yourself sane during the pandemic? What were you doing?
Well, really, I was just talking about what I want to do in the near future. I was working on, for a little while, I was working on a podcast, and then I started it back up again. So
what's the name of that podcast?
The podcast will be called Screaming with a Purpose, and it'll be coming soon. But also during the pandemic, I was also trying to raise money to do a musical project that will, benefit, Cerebral Palsy of Georgia, the Human Rights Campaign, and also Black Lives Matter. I want to do a project that will benefit, that some of the proceeds will go to those organizations to help out. But I need to get a band together first.
So you're in between bands right now?
I'm not. Yeah, I guess you could say that. I'm looking for musicians right now.
Are you going to try to do the same project that you've always done? Konniption of Ymerej?
Yeah. I'm definitely going to try to do the same project as I always done. I already have a name for the project and everything. I'll tell you the name in secret.
Okay.
It's a secret.
Let's do it off the air. I like that. So I'll tell you what, every time I've booked you and had you at the festival, it's always a treat. Everyone enjoys your enthusiasm and how much you bring to the table, and just what you represent, being out there handy capable and still rocking out at a heavy metal show and fronting a metal band. That means so much to so many people, and myself included in that. What got you into heavy metal as a handy capable guy, one thing, because it being such a hard thing to get in, and then a black guy at that as well. How did heavy metal find you, or did you find it? Would you say?
I like how you posed that question. I actually found heavy metal through a joke. I'm telling you. I was at middle school and we were playing around in the gym. Me and my friends were playing around. This was PE time. And I sticked out my tongue. And my teacher was like, "Oh, you look like Kiss." I didn't know who Kiss was. I'm like, who the fuck is Kiss? You know? And then I was like, let me go home and let me research who Kiss is. And I looked on Google, who Kiss was, and I saw this picture of Gene Simmons with his tongue out and the blood dripping down from his mouth, and I'm like, it was something about that image that drawed me in. I'm like,
oh, that's when metal lives in you.
I like this guy. Then I started, but also when I was in middle school, I had another friend, and me and her, we were in chorus together, and she used to listen to Green Day. So I kind of was already into rock, but it just got more heavier and heavier as time progressed. But I think that music like metal, it has really been a saving grace for me. It's really been a safe haven for me. As far as being in special ed as well, because special ed was a prison of the mind for me, and I hated it. So, I found that music, when I was in high school, I hated it, because they weren't really teaching me what I needed to know. So in high school, music was a way for me to express how I felt and what I was going through at that time. But middle school was great. That's where I found all my interests.
So going back to that, so you think you started with Kiss, and you say it got heavier and heavier. Where was your first super heavy band that really set you off, and you said, "Oh my God, this is where it's at"? I remember my moment. My moment was me and Curtis were like 10, 11 years old, and we were watching Ace Ventura: Pet Detective when Cannibal Corpse shows up on the screen, and he's running around the mosh pit. But you just see those guys windmilling their hair, going everywhere. That was a moment when I knew like heavier stuff existed, more than I could get my hands on. Did you have a moment similar to that where you went, "Oh wow, it goes another level"?
There were so many bands. As far as like the heaviest, when I got into like the heavier stuff, it was, it started with Rob Zombie. He's not that heavy, but he's way heavier than Kiss. So I'm like, oh, and he sounded really funky. So I'm like, oh, yeah, this it. You know what I'm saying? He has a very grooviness to him. To me, I feel like Rob Zombie is the white version of George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic.
I could see that.
Yeah, I'm like, he's from the mothership, for real.
Well, we when I was coming up, we used to call it, and talking about Dimebag's guitar tone, we used to call it the Wicked. He's got the Wicked.
Exactly. And then when I was in high school, I got into like the chords. Like that's when I really started getting into my own. When I was in high school, I started getting into the chords, the Slipknots. I started watching Death Clock, but also I would watch Boondocks, and I'm like, yo, this is dope. And then as far as like the definitive era for me in metal, like I love like the groove metal, the like new metal, rap metal stuff. So I would listen to Rage Against the Machines as well, like Head PE,
Oh hell yeah.
And that stuff to me was great. That stuff to me was awesome. Cause I'm like, yo, here are people rapping and doing things that, hip hop dudes do, and they dressing like hip hop dudes, but they're adding the rap with the screaming, and it was dope. I think, I'm not trying to start a argument here, but I think in the 90s, like the new metal, the rap metal, the groove metal, the funk metal and stuff like that, that was the era for me, because that's where I found like my love. Like I'm like, yo, I could do this.
Well, that's my deal. Like a lot of people talk shit on them and stuff, but Limp Bizkit, guilty pleasure. Limp Bizkit ruled when they first hit the scene, dude. Limp Bizkit was tearing shit up, man.
No, that's where I do. Okay, now here's the thing with me.
Are you about to diss me? Are you about to disagree with me?
Yes, I really am. I really am. I'm a Korn and Slipknot fan. I'm like not really into Limp Bizkit.
Come on, man. We're gonna break stuff.
Not really into Limp Bizkit, but I mean I can understand because the musicianship of Limp Bizkit, like the way that the music sounds, is dope. I don't really dig Fred that much. As far as
Fred's had a mouth and done a lot of things that I think has turned a lot of people away.
Yeah, but the music, the actual music, is dope. It's dope.
That's one of those things you can't help where you are at a time when you hear something or when you're introduced to something. And at that time, as a kid, I was in middle school. We were skateboarding, and Fred Durst come out saying, "We're gonna break your fucking face tonight." The whole crowd.
The music of Limp Bizkit, I have to say, the music for me of Limp Bizkit is dope. Like, I feel like their music is so groovy to where my mind could literally tune his voice out and just listen to the music. Because it's like, as far as a rapper and a screamer, like, I would have to put the dude from Head PE, then you got Corey Taylor, and my favorite band of all time. Well, my number one favorite band. Guess who it is?
Who is it?
BC.
I did what?
Body Count.
Oh shit,
BC.
Dude.
BC.
He don't even count. He was hustling from day one.
Exactly. So when I look at metal and rap, like, I look at BC like, like they were it. You know what I'm saying? And Head PE and like the old like Mudvayne stuff. I'm like, I like that. It make you and Soulfly and Sepultura. Like when I discovered Sepultura and the Roots album, I was like, like it blew my mind. When you talk about real heavy stuff, that blew my mind. And then I got into, like you said, Cannibal Corpse when I got older, and all the other heavy stuff, and just so many different.
Well, backing it up, like you just said, all those groups you just named have so much groove and so much bounce, and it's that kind of stuff where you just want to just bob your head. You don't
know if you want to dance or like choke somebody
or headbang till you put your head through the table.
Exactly, exactly, and it's so cool because it's like you just want to headbang till your head falls off.
That's what I'm trying to do. Well, I don't know.
Exactly, and I feel the same way with your music as well. I feel like it does have a groove to it to where it could be as fast as hell, but if that groove is there, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
That's always been us. We always like that.
Exactly.
If we could headbang to it, that meant it was grooving good.
Exactly. And even with like Cannibal Corpse, like they're fast and I love that. And it still has a bounce, even though it's like chaotic. It still has like a bounce where you can kind of just go crazy with it. I'm like, yeah.
Remember when you were 18 and you started going to the masquerade?
Oh yeah, I did. Thanks for that, Mom. Thanks. When I was 18 or even younger, maybe 17, I started going to the masquerade, and this is how I kind of found the scene in Atlanta. Like, a lot of people are like, how did you find the scene? Masquerade was where I found the scene in Atlanta. The story goes, I was outside of the old Masquerade 695, and I was passing out flyers for my band or whatever, and I think it was maybe John Holder, you know who he is, Sid.
Big John Holder.
Yeah, and it was probably like January, It was around January, so it's kind of cold.
Cold out, yeah.
And I was passing out my flyers outside with a big jacket on. And he was like, little bro. He was like, it's cold out here, little bro. He was like, go home, little bro. We got you. We're going to put it up on the board for you. I was like, okay. So, like, that's how I found my footing in the heavy metal, Atlanta scene. And it was just really cool. Like, y'all embraced me.
Well, I think a lot of people found their family in the heavy metal scene at the Masquerade.
Yeah, no doubt.
A lot of people can share, and I'm one of them as well. And I have a cool goon story like that. The Goon Squad, those Masquerade guys.
Yeah,
I was doing this. I was probably 16, passing out flyers to Legion X.
No.
Yeah, moms, I'm telling you. So I'm outside passing out flyers, trying to sell some tickets to whatever show we had coming up at the time.
Hell no.
And the kid that I was talking to at the time, trying to move a ticket to, he didn't have quite enough cash to get the ticket. And the bouncer who was out front as the show was digressing and letting go, he seen me talking to this kid, and this kid saying, "Oh man, I really want to go." And I was like, "Well, I've already cut my part of the ticket. I can't. It's not my money. I have to get it all." And about that time, before the kid walked away, the bouncer who was over listening to us, and the Masquerade bouncers don't make any money worth a thing, he reached into his pocket, he grabbed the extra $5 the kid needed, he handed the kid the $5 and said, "Enjoy the show, man." And that's the
metal family, man.
Exactly, that's the Masquerade metal family.
You know what I'm saying? And like as far as me being a HWA handicap with attitude, and here's what I want to see. I want to see more disabled people in the scene. Like this is just what I want to see. I want to see more. I know we can do it. I want to see more disabled people in the scene up on stage doing their thing. I shouldn't be the only one out here in Atlanta, and I know I'm not. But I just want to see more of disabled people. I want to see more people of color in the scene doing their thing. I want to see more LGBT people doing their thing in the scene. I feel like we are a movement that is welcoming. But if we just open it up a little bit more, it'd be dope.
There's room for everybody in the heavy metal family. And that's the best part about heavy metal. I've had friends that weren't necessarily metal folks try to come and hang out at events that I've put on, or just events I was attending and invited them out to, and they say, "I don't know if I'm going to fit in. I'm not a heavy metal person." I say, whoa, that's not our crowd. We're not going to notice that you're in a pink shirt. We don't care. We're going to talk to you. We're going to say hello. Exactly. That's your crowd. If we showed up in our black T-shirt at your football party, somebody might be a little rude to us, but that's not the heavy metal world. We're 18 to 80, blind, crippled, or crazy. We love everybody.
Exactly, and that's I just like to see more of that and people experience it more, and it's really dope. And I feel like the more people come into the scene, the more it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's what I want to see. I want to see elderly people be like, yo, like my mom, like, check this out. My mom, first time I performed at my high school, and shouts out to my mom. First time I performed at my high school, I had a rock band or whatever, and we were, performing the school talent show. And I did the song, Respect Me, Don't Judge Me, I Will Not Be Defeated, which is, everybody got the devil in them now, so I revamped it. But we did the song, and it's crazy because I went to an all-black high school. Can you imagine this? I went to an all-black high school. When I was doing my thing, all the kids were headbanging. They were going crazy. It was
full support for your rock band at the
exactly, and it was dope. Everybody was like, "Yo, Jay, we love it. Keep on doing what you're doing." And here's the big part of it. Me and Mom were about to leave. We got in the car, Mom looked at me and she said this. And she knows talent. My mom knows what's good music. She said, y'all were the best out of everyone. She said you had art. She said you had R&B bands, you had dancers, but y'all did something different, and y'all were the best.
And that's what it's about, is being different and being memorable. And
exactly.
Every time I've seen you perform, it's been one of the highlights of the evening for sure.
Thank you.
Same here. Well, you can tell when you watch somebody who's enjoying being on stage, who it means the world to them. And anytime I see you perform, I can tell you mean it. That you. Yeah. And to go on down that trail, to back it up a minute, you mentioned it a minute ago, the phrase of it, but one of your songs, Special Ed Prison of the Mind, where did that come from? You touched on it a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in high school, I wasn't being, my mind is different. I wasn't being taught the correct way, and shouts out to all the good teachers, but there are some teachers out there who are just like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, because we're disabled, it's kind of like...
They're just mailing it in. They're not really putting the extra work in, trying to really be the difference.
And also, what really inspired that song was that one day I was really depressed because I was like, Mom, I don't want to go to school no more. I'm tired of going to school, and I was in tears. And it was just hard for me. So Mom literally, got me out the car. I went to my teacher. She said, go to the counselor's office. And I was telling the counselor, I'm trying to do everything, I'm trying to do what I can to help us to be strong and just stand this. And she was like, well, what are you doing to help yourself? I was like, I just told you, like, I'm trying my best, but I have a hard time learning. Like, please help me. And I want to learn, but it's the way that some of y'all are teaching that I can't really get it. And I know I can get it, but it's just, I learn differently. I learn through music and color. So if you could, I was telling her that, and she was like, well, what are you doing to help yourself? Da, 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 da. And I just felt like, yo, you're supposed to be a counselor, and all you doing is asking me, what am I doing to help myself? Like, nah, bro, like, you're supposed to help the kids. You actually making them more depressed. And it got so bad at one point that I really got really down, and I tried to commit suicide. And I'm telling everybody, like, nah, man, like, I'm telling everybody right now, like, I'm only telling y'all this because this was my experience, you know what I'm saying? But, there is hope. And what happened with me was, when I tried to commit suicide, something in my head said, call your homegirl. So I called my homegirl, and she was like, what's wrong, Jay? She knew something was wrong. She knew something. You know how, like, you call somebody, you try to act like nothing's wrong, and then they know something's wrong, even though you on the phone?
Yeah, if they're close enough with you, usually some people can tell, that type of thing.
Yeah. She's like, yo, what's wrong? So I told her what was wrong, and she said this. She said, what about your music, and what about your mom? I said, I can't do this. I can't do it.
She hit you right between the eyes with that one, huh?
Yeah, I was like, I can't do this. I got my music, I got my mom, I you know what I'm saying? And to all the people that are struggling with suicide, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope. Like, I'm not trying to be preachy, but there is hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. It does get better. You just gotta hold on a little bit longer. It does get better, and if you do have problems with suicide and stuff like that, talk to somebody and seek some professional help. You know what I'm saying? And there is hope. You can make it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you coming up and saying that, because a lot of people deal with depression and different things like that. And the message, like you said, I love old sayings and old adages, and one of my favorite ones is that it doesn't rain every day.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
It doesn't. And it might sometimes rain for a couple days in a row, but that sun is just right around the corner. And if you look forward to that and remember those sunny days more than those rainy days, you'll be amazed at what it does for your mental health and things. And it sounds like that's the same token you're trying to go down, you know.
Exactly. And like back to my mom. My mom has been a support system, and my mom has been everything. I started singing when I was 2 years old, and my mom encouraged it. She always encouraged music and stuff like that. So it's just in my blood to it's a part of me to write music, to sing, or whatever the case may be. And I felt like, man, like there is like as far as me being disabled, like I was adopted. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you say, it doesn't rain always and stuff like that. And there's gifts in things. You may feel like, oh, everything is bad, but there's a gift in the bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
You can find good things in the bad. There's so many things that, I went through as a child. I was adopted, and thank God or the universe or whatever you want to say. Thank that happened, that I was adopted. I was adopted as a baby. I was 2 pounds at birth. My mom adopted me and my brother, and my birth mom, she was on crack cocaine. I was born in D.C. and it was the late 90s, so the crack epidemic and
was in full swing.
Yeah. So my mom got addicted to cocaine, and she told my mom, I can't, my mom actually, she told my mom about me.
You were born in 1990.
I was born in 1990, and my birth mom told my mom now, my adoptive mom, that, hey, I got a baby and he had cerebral palsy. And my mom went over to the hospital and saw me and said, we can't leave him here. We got to take him. We got his brother. We gotta take him. And also, so my mom got me at 6 months. Right from the hospital.
Did you have to stay in the hospital a little while for being premature and for being that small?
Yeah. Definitely.
For 6 months.
For 6 months, I had to stay in the hospital. Because I had a lung problem and all these. And seizures and stuff like that. All these things are taken care of now. I haven't had seizures in years.
That was actually, so you said that. I was about to say, because I know in the heavy metal world, I've known quite a few guys that seizures were a big deal with them, and we would have to do things on stage where they couldn't have strobe lights. Let's leave one color, Not been an issue for you.
It's not been an issue at all.
Well, that's cool.
It's not been an issue. Like Mom said, these were issues when I was a baby, but now it's all cleared up and stuff like that. And I'm just happy to be alive and in the land of the wild living, if you will.
Right? We have a good time, don't we?
Hell yeah! And like that's what I'm really about, man. I'm really about inspiring people and just telling my truth, really, as a disabled, as a disabled person who's handicapped with attitude, as a black man, who's, for people of color and LGBT folks. I'm just a part of you, because y'all are the ones that made me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I tell you what, it's good to know that you are aware at how much change you can bring on with that smiling face that you have.
Yeah, no doubt.
I tell you, so many people that I know of that see you at shows and say, "There's Jeremy. This guy is always happy." And I have enough common sense to know that's not true. Me and you've talked enough and are friends enough that I know that you struggle with depression at times, and it's like all of us do. But it means the world to myself and so many other metalheads in our scene, seeing your smiling face and knowing it's that reminder that it doesn't rain every day.
Exactly, and we're all heavy metal family, you know.
And you always shine a light on everyone else. It's such a good, it's a beautiful thing to see the synergy of love.
Yeah, I'm just here for my heavy metal family, and I wanna get other people into the gang too. You know, like I say, like just other people of different cultures, other people of different backgrounds and stuff like that. Like we're all a heavy metal family. Black, white, whatever. But if we could all, come together and just realize, hey man, you know what I'm saying? This music can help to can make people aware of things. You know what I'm saying? It can make people think about that, because I'm gonna tell you, even songs like I have this song called "He Bowling Dick."
One of my favorites.
Yeah, and I've actually thought about it in a deeper way. I'm gonna change it now to COVID Dick. But I actually thought about it in a deeper way. After a while, I was like, yo, you don't really hear, as far as being disabled, you don't really hear, as far as being disabled, we're not invited to the conversation of sex and sexuality or anything like that. We're really kind of excluded from that conversation. So to hear a dude with a disability talk about COVID dick, it's like, ooh, we just because I'm disabled doesn't mean that I'm asexual. It doesn't mean that I don't think about sex.
You don't have urges or needs like everyone else.
Yeah, I have urges and needs just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's another side of it. But you could also look at it as me warning people and saying, yo, be safe out there. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's my way. My art is where you could look at it from both sides. You know what I'm saying? You could be like, oh, that's funny, and oh, he's really getting the message out. But you could look at it as fun too.
As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Exactly,
and
exactly.
That's the best kind of art, one that you can enjoy and go to have a ride and have a ball doing. You can get people talking, people thinking.
Exactly. My whole thing is to get people talking. Even when I wear my corpse paint. Even when I wear my corpse paint and I'm like, and I got Ebola on my forehead and I'm out here, saying HWA, doing songs about Cannabis Monster. It's gonna make people be like, I like that kid. I know, I can feel him. I know what he is about. They may not know the fullness of the story, but they know what my music is.
And that's the thing. Watching you in action, you get if your eyes are open and your ears are open, you understand what you're talking about and feel the message.
Exactly. And it's fun too, because my whole thing is, back to body count, my whole thing is, you get the message, but I don't want to preach to you. I want to make you have fun and make you laugh. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want the message, but also I want to wrap it up in comedy, in like dark comedy, to where you could be like, oh, that's funny, and then when you go home, you be like, oh, that's deep. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that seeps into people sometimes a lot different,
Yeah, exactly.
You sneak up on them a little bit.
Exactly. It's like a Richard Pryor joke, man. It's comical, but then when you go home and you think about it, you're like, oh shit,
he was really saying something there.
Exactly. Like a Dave Chappelle joke. You're like, oh, that's funny. And then when you go home and really listen to it, you're like, oh, he's telling the truth.
Well, that's one of Dave's lines has become one of my favorite sayings lately. If I'm wrong, perhaps we're all wrong.
Exactly, man. And like, yeah, man, no doubt, man. And I just feel, and also like I say, being HWA, handicapped with attitude, and being black, and also being bisexual. It's like I'm telling you what I go through in a very comical, dark, sarcastic, horror way, but I'm doing it with like a smile on my face to where you're like, I like that kid. I can feel him.
Well, the honesty is what's so real, because everybody has these thoughts, these feelings, or may not have the balls to say some of the things that you're saying. Yes. They might be scared to, or hung up on it for some taboo reasons, or might have some family members that aren't supporting them the way you get support.
And speaking about family members that support, like I say my mom, but I also have some family members who don't understand. So those who feel like...
Likewise, I have family members that still call my stuff "Kill Your Mama" music.
Yeah, and it's like, I got my mom, and she understands, you know what I'm saying? If you're a very understanding person, then you know where I'm at. But, I got so don't feel bad. I got family members that, why you look so evil? Why you look so devilish? You worshiping the devil now? That's where, respect me, judge me, everybody got the devil in them came from, because I was at a family dinner, and my, I don't know if it was one of my family members sat by me, and he was like, heard you worshiping the devil now. And I'm just like, I am laughing. Like, in my head, I'm laughing like, what? You retired.
Where are you hearing this shit?
Exactly. Where are you hearing this shit? And so I kind of sat back and I was like, yo, I need to write a song about this. So I started saying, respect me, don't judge me, I will not be defeated. Everybody's got the devil in them. Because everybody got issues. Everybody has a demon. You know what I'm saying? Instead of acting like your demon's not there, just say, yo, I got these demons. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is goody two shoes. If you perfect, I don't want to be around your ass. Fuck you.
No, and you ain't, because anybody that acts though they're perfect, or they're not. That's what
they're not. They're not.
People that have the answer and they say they have the answer. I'm scared of that dude or that chick, because how could you possibly have the answer and know what's going on? Because I'm so fucking out here in left field clueless.
Exactly. Nobody's perfect. Everybody fucked up. Everybody got demons, and everybody's everybody got a left foot dancing with the devil. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at it. Everybody's messed up, bro. Everybody's
got their skeletons. That's
exactly.
For sure. And if you're not openly talking about it and working on yourself, that's where the problem is.
Exactly.
It's everybody's got the problems, but the point is acknowledging them, like you say, and admitting them. It's got to be pretty cathartic to you have admitted a lot of stuff recently and came out of the closet being bisexual and stuff. It's just got to be so cathartic to not hold that stuff in.
Yeah,
it feel really good to get it just off your chest. And
yeah, definitely. I actually, in special ed, I'm gonna give y'all a pointer. In special ed prison of the mind, I actually say it in the second verse, but you have to really listen. Okay.
I'll have to go back and check it again.
I'm gonna give you the line. I'm like, just because I'm pink, purple, and blue, bitch, you can't tell me what to do, so fuck you. Pink, purple, and blue are the bisexual flag.
Bi flag, I got
it. Yeah, so I'm basically telling you I'm bisexual, but I'm doing it with the colors.
You sneaky fucker. Exactly, you snuck it in there. Huh?
Exactly. You have to be poetically, you have to use metaphors and colors.
I always love that. I love that when a writer does that.
Hell yeah.
I look forward to hearing some of the stuff and you getting back what you've been able to work on and some of the poetry you've worked on during the pandemic. I can't, because your writing's always been from a perspective that most people just don't have. Know, being handy capable but still so strong-minded and strong-willed it's something that just a lot of people don't have the perspective on. And do you think that some of that came from you being such a metalhead? Because I know most people don't listen to heavy metal to feel weak. Most people, when you listen to metal, makes you feel strong, makes you feel. Do you get that out of it?
Yeah. When I listen to metal and when I listen to hip hop, it makes me feel like, yeah, I'm about to tear up some shit, you know, and
the soundtrack to our lives.
Exactly. Actually, like all the shows I go to, whether it be like, you know, Slipknot, I listen to Bohemian sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like every show I go to, Dillinger, Skin Flare, like it's just, you know, festivals like Mayhem Festival. These are like things that literally brought me up out of my gunk, if you will.
Oh, I know, and that's what I remember when I first met you. Back up, it must be close to 10 years ago.
Hell yeah!
I think I already knew you well, and we were standing at the second stage at a Mayhem Fest, I believe. Yes. And those stages are way far off from the main drag. They only have some nasty ass porta-johns, and we were talking shit, and you were like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom, but there's fucking porta-johns over there. However, we snatched your ass up and put you and Curtis look like Chewbacca and C-3PO rolling through there, but you had more fans, and everybody was just like, J-Rock, get it, yeah! And everybody...
I had to really go to the bathroom. I was about to piss on the porta potty.
We weren't letting it go down like that.
Exactly, like I was about to piss on stage.
Well, that goes back to the camaraderie that everybody's to help you, and that's what I was getting at. Is I've seen other cats that I don't even know. I know everybody in the metal scene, and I've been at these huge festivals and see that you're on your own. You do your own thing. You get around just fine. Yeah. But anytime you need a handout and a help up some stairs or anything like that.
Thank you, guys. I like to say heavy metal family for life, and I like to say thank you to my heavy metal family. Like I've been saying it over and over again. Thank you to y'all.
No, well, I think truthfully most of them owe you a thank you for being a pillar of positivity in our scene and always being there and supporting all the bands. You support bands that I think suck, and that's because you're a sweet, sweet man. And that's the truth. And if we had 100 more of you, Jeremy, I think our scene would be that much stronger, man.
Thank you. But here's the thing. Like the way I look at music is like, you know, not every band is for me, but I'm gonna say, you know. Like there's some bands where I'm like, I'm not really feeling them, but it's like, yo, they may not be for me, but they may be for somebody else.
Yeah, and I'm just joking when I say there's bands that suck out there, because
I absolutely know what you're saying. There are some.
But at the same token, like, you might not be for me, but if you're in my scene and you're a cool dude, you can be so cool, it makes me want to like your band and still pump you to people that I think might like what you're doing.
That's why I don't really knock bands that I don't personally like, because I know that what I dislike or what I don't like as much, somebody else may love. Now, there are some people who have nasty attitudes, and that's why I say that, you know, some people's bands do suck, because in this game, you can't have a nasty attitude.
No, it'll catch up to you always.
You can't do that.
So, it's just no fun for life being that way either.
Oh yeah. Shout out to my homegirl Courtney. Check out her podcast as well, but she's dope. Yeah, me and my homegirl Courtney. You probably know who I'm talking about if I show you a picture. She's been in the scene for a while, and we went to hear Casket Creatures. Right? Check this out. And I think it was after Casket Creatures. There was Elzik, and then another band, the final band, the headliner was playing. During the headliner, a fight broke out between two girls.
Little bit of a cat.
Check this out. Check this out, though. I got knocked down, and I'm cool. And everybody else, you know, it was pandemonium. And my friend Courtney fell on my walker, but immediately got up and was like, "You all right, J-Rock?" I'm like, "I'm good." And that
you still on the floor.
I was still on the floor, and then somebody came and picked me up. You know what I'm saying? And that shows you that the metal community is loving. Like, if you fall, they'll pick you up. They'll make sure you are straight. You know what I'm saying? And those girls those girls who started the fight got a mouthful from all my homies. Like, yo, bitch, you knocked down J-Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Watch your shit, bitch.
Exactly. So the metal community is loving. It's caring. You know what I'm saying? Your boy wasn't hurt. His face still pretty. You know what I'm saying?
That was the money makers still.
Exactly. I don't have no knock teeth. I'm good. You know, I'm the dude. If I could brag, I'm the dude that looks pretty in corpse paint.
I don't know if that's what you're supposed to be going for.
I know you ain't supposed to be going for that,
but you have nailed it.
Yeah, you're supposed to be looking like a dead person. Which, in a way, that's why I like corpse paint, is because we all have those times where we feel dead.
Hey, there's no doubt about that.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just a more happier corpse, if you will.
Well, and to be corpse paint, you are the most muscular damn corpse I've ever seen in my life.
Thanks.
I just recently started hitting the gym. I'm gonna have to see if I can catch up with you on that.
I'm telling you,
got the stiffest damn chest and arms out of anybody I've ever met.
He was like that when we got him from the
yeah,
hospital.
my mom said I was like that when they got me from the hospital because
6 months old.
6 months old, I had muscles. So if you just push a walker around, you know, and it'll happen.
Just hold yourself on a walker for 20 some odd years.
Yeah, definitely. Like
you 30 now?
Yeah, I'm 30.
Oh, you old son of a bitch.
31 in October.
31 in October, but I'm still young because I love. And here's another thing. Here's another thing I want to say. Keep the young spirit in the metal community. Keep the young spirit, and the old heads. I'm an old head, I guess, too. I could say.
You're getting there. You're catching up.
Spirit. Old heads. You know, we need to embrace this younger metal generation. You know what I'm saying? We need to be like, you know, it's cool. It may be different, but it's cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones bringing in the new fans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think that's always been kind of a problem. Is the old heads want to keep the new. You just always you fall in love with these bands, and these new ones come in. You're like, pussies. They're not heavy enough. And but you're exactly right. That it is a problem with the old heads. I think it always has been.
Yeah. And I feel like, man, you know, the old. And I'm not down in the old heads. I can understand why.
Oh, I'm guilty of it myself.
You know, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, give these young dudes a try. You know, let them express themselves. And you know, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But let's try to let's embrace the young generation because they're pushing the heavy metal culture forward. They really are.
That's right.
You got bands like dudes like Ghostman out there who did a metal album, and that shit is banging. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That shit banging. You know what I'm saying?
Who are some other newer cats that you might be listening to right now? Anybody come to mind?
Homie, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna tell you, Ghostman with his metal record that he put out. And you know who else I like? At first I was like, I don't know. But then I started getting into her and I'm like, yo, she's dope. Poppy.
I haven't checked it out. I've heard things. I see her blowing up on these bigger shows and bigger tours. I think it's something I'm gonna have to check out eventually.
I'm like, she's different.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what we need. And then yeah, and you know, she different and she young, but that's what we need. We need something to put us out of our comfort zone. And I feel like that's what you did for me because when I first came into the game, y'all embraced me, but I also feel like I put people out of their comfort zone. Like here's a dude who's different, like, and he wants to disrupt the order of what's going on and do something different. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, glad that Sid's doing this, because you know, if we don't come up with different concepts and different things, the metal community is always going to live because it is unique. And if it loses that uniqueness, then it's dead.
I think that's a good point you sprung up. I think that's what it's built into the heavy metal community. I think it can go up and it can go down, but it always will live for the simple reason that heavy metal fans scream the name of their favorite artist. Hip-hop fans, country fans, regular rock fans don't scream, who's your favorite rapper? Tupac! Biggie! People don't, I like Tupac, I like Biggie, I like Ja Rule, I like whoever it might be, but they don't have that enthusiasm to
Exactly. With me, I'm that dude. I'm like, yo, I like Slayer, man. I like Body Count, man. I like Head PE, and Marilyn Manson as well. You know what I'm saying? I like when he, like, that's a dude that when I was in high school and middle school, like I said before, I listened to him and I was like, yo, that dude is cool. Like,
that was one of the game changers.
As far as his look and just like how weird he was, but it was a cool, like, really weird music type of stuff. And I'm like, yo, he knows where he's going with this.
He was one of the ones that got me too. I'm a little bit older than you, not too much.
Yeah.
But in 1997, he performed at the MTV Music Awards. Have you ever seen the footage of that? I watched that live with my family. All right, I'm maybe 10, 11 years old.
You're like, thank you.
And Chris Rock hosted the show. And I remember they waited all the way till the very end of the night to let Manson go on. He was the end of the show. And Chris Rock came out on stage and was like, our next guest is a wild one. Get ready for it. And Manson walked out on stage with a podium set up like the president. Like the president in the fur coat. Yep, and got going. When he started, he dropped that robe and had that thong on with his butt hanging out. And that performance, though, as a kid, and just, it was so metal and so badass. I loved it. I was probably just looking straight at the TV. Like, and my parents, bless their heart, they had to be looking at me like, oh shit, he's liking this too much. This can't be good.
Yeah, I remember watching Marilyn Manson, and I was like, I like this dude. I get him, because at that time in my high school, like, I was hanging out like at Hot Topics, and like when Hot Topics was like really
when it was cool
and really cool. I used to hang out there, and I just enjoyed the loud, Death Clock and the music that they would play, and Cannibal Corpse, and I just enjoyed it. It was something about it that I enjoyed. I bathed in it.
Yeah.
Metal is a good bath to bathe in. Whatever genre,
well said.
Whatever genre of metal you go for. Me, I already told y'all what genre of metal I kind of am drawn to, but I love like the more extreme stuff as well. I like more like extreme screaming stuff as well. I love that too. I get a lot of inspiration from a lot of different bands, and even bands like Animals as Leaders and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, I get inspiration from everywhere, man.
That's the beauty of metal, is that there's
so many different genres.
So many genres. So depending on what you feel like at the time, or what you might listen to help highlight that mood that you're in right now. There's a different color to paint with.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, I would like to say, as far as the young rock cats that are doing it up, Trippie Redd has a rock album, and just listen to it. It may not be as heavy as you want it to be, but it is a damn good album. He has a song with Star-Lord that's called, the chorus is drop dead, and I'm like, okay, this it. Yeah, man, there's a lot of young cats out here doing their thing, and it may be different, and it may not be the 80s, and it may not be the 90s, but what I'm going to say may cause a little controversy. The 80s and the 90s, they're gone, children. They're gone.
Come on, bro.
It's gone. It's gone. You're not gonna get it back.
We can try.
Exactly. You said what?
We can try.
Exactly. But I mean, you're probably gonna get like parody bands like Steel Panther. Yeah. But like you're not gonna get that back. The gone are those days. And I'm not trying to diss those days because they were great.
Yeah.
The 90s and the 80s, they were great. But it's a new era, and just, try to embrace the new era.
And make room for the new clack.
Exactly. I know it takes time. I know it takes time, Sid, but try.
But you got bands like, have you been listening to local guys Left to Suffer?
Yes. Yes. I wanted to talk about Left to Suffer. You had them on Slaughter Q this year.
The late night show.
Yeah, definitely. I love those guys.
Yep. So
dude, can't bring me down. Like it's like awesome. It's awesome, and I love the lead singer. His voice, man. I'm very drawn to that. Like
Taylor is a beast.
Yeah, Taylor is a beast, man. The rhythmic cadence of that, like it was very, it reminded me of like a. I would have to say like. Almost their look is very Amir like. It's very
and that's kind of the vein of hardcore kind of stuff that they are, like new wave, newer.
Yeah, it's very Amir like, and I love me some Amir, like it's dope. So like when I listen to Left to Suffer, that's where I go to. I'm like, they new shit. Like I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna give y'all a prediction. Macedon, we love him, but the next in line is Left to Suffer.
You heard it here, folks.
The next in fucking line is Left to Suffer. I'm telling y'all. Then possibly could be somebody on Sid's podcast soon. Never know.
One never know.
Yeah. Just a little braggadocious. But yeah, man, Left to Suffer is they it, man.
And they're blowing up. It's cool. It's cool to watch. It's cool to watch cats from hometown blow up like that.
You got bands like Left to Suffer in the scene of Atlanta. You got bands like Casket Creatures. I keep on talking about them, but they the shit.
And have you been following Techark, who were from Atlanta, who are out in California now? They're doing some big tours and stuff. Dope.
I don't know those guys, but give me the info.
I'll reintroduce you to them. I'm sure you have seen them because they're from Atlanta traditionally.
Okay.
They have a black girl plays guitar who's phenomenal. Diamond Rose. She is amazing.
I've probably seen them before.
Yeah, and so they went and relocated to California, I believe, and have been doing great ever since.
Dope. And like I say, shouts out to the homies Macedon. Like when I saw them on Jimmy Kimmel, I said it's possible.
Right?
It's possible. This shit is possible. I'm like, bro, hometown boys. I'm like, this shit is possible. Y'all need to get. Here's another thing. Y'all there. I'm not saying you can't, enjoy music, but it's time for us to get serious about the music again. It's time for us to get serious about it. And it's not about getting big and getting popular. It's about enjoying the music and taking this thing seriously. Because art is a big deal. It saves people's lives. So we need to get serious with the music again. And I'm not talking about, one to get big or whatever, one to be on a big stage, and then next thing you know, you blow up. But if that happens, great. If that doesn't, still have fun and be serious about your music, because you never know. So, you know, and also, if you do get big, you know what I'm saying? It's not, for me, if a band gets big, it's not like they're not selling out. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what it's about.
I don't feel like
it's about turning people on and turning as many people on as possible.
Exactly. We need to stop with the whole because they're big they sold out. No.
That's the point, to turn as many people on.
Don't you want to make some cash off of what you love to do?
I think that's the part where I think some bands and people get caught up, is that they don't understand. It's not they think just because you want to get paid that's all you think about. It's like, no, I just want to eat enough to get McDonald's and noodles so I continue making you music.
Exactly.
I don't want to have to go work a construction job. I would rather spend that time making you music. And
exactly. And it's not about, to me, selling out is literally being like, okay, I'm going to
cut your dreads, take your face paint off.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to melt myself down to satisfy you. J-Rock ain't gonna do that.
Yeah,
whatever J-Rock does.
Yeah, selling out would be J-Rock wiping all his face paint off, cutting your hair, getting rid of the kilt.
Exactly.
And it's like, no.
Exactly. Nah, man. Nah, it's about for me, that's what selling out is. It's not about selling out for money or anything like that. It's about, because you think that this is what the big wants you to, the big time wants you to do, you cave into it. But if you want to do it, that's what you want to do, and you're not selling out.
Right, just like I said, just stay true to yourself.
Stay true to yourself.
And as long as you do that, you can't go wrong.
Stay true to yourself. If you don't stay true to yourself, that's when you're selling out. But if you stay true to yourself, you real, regardless if you get to the top or not. I mean, do I have dreams about making it? Yeah, everybody does.
Right.
Don't act like you don't.
Right.
Homies, don't act like you don't. Don't be all like to the point where you want to be so hardcore to where you like, oh, I don't want to make, I want to stay in the underground, homie. I want to stay in the underground. Like, no, you don't. And if you do, you want to make money doing it. Like, here's the thing that I like, and I'm going off on another topic. I like ICP. They're mainstream, but they're not.
You giving me shit about Limp Bizkit?
Is he an ICP?
No, he's not.
That's the only band I really like.
That's the only band my mom likes.
They're fun. I'm just messing with you.
They're fun. They're funny as hell. But what I like to say about ICP is they're mainstream, but not. They're still underground. Like, there's a lot of people that don't know who they are. So it's like, they're not selling out. They being who they are. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And even if you get like Mastodon ain't selling out for nobody. They doing what they want to do.
Right.
You know, you ain't selling out for nobody. You doing what you want to do. I'm not selling out for nobody. I'm doing what I want to do. I don't care how much money you give me. I'm not going to stop standing up for you know, people of color and for LGBT folks and for like women and like everybody in the metal scene. And like, I'm not going to stop doing that. And I'm not going to take off my face paint unless it like sincerely breaks out or something like that. Then I will. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually wear a mask. So that way I still have something over my face. And also, if you want to know like the real reason why, like, okay, like a lot of people wear masks. You got Slipknot wearing masks. You got Kiss and you got all that. It's like, it just brings out another side of your performance. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It allows you, from my perspective, if I had to guess, it allows you to be another character, step into another feeling or another side of yourself that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise.
And let me tell y'all something about Sid. I remember. I remember. I think this was at the first Slaughter Q I went to. Y'all were performing Legion X, which is another cool band. Hopefully they make some more projects. Hopefully. So yeah, they were performing, and I was like, man, you know, I want to see them. This dude said, "Come on, Jay." He didn't even hear me. I think he just heard my thought. He said, "Come on, J-Rock," and he literally took me like backstage where the curtains was, and he said, "You're gonna watch us backstage in heaven." And I was like, "Okay." And let me tell y'all something about this dude when he performs. He like Little Richard, he let it all hang out. Like he just like, bro, this dude does not care, bro. It's like this dude does not care, just like me. He like this dude. Wow, I mean, yo, man.
I appreciate you saying that because I know you've seen quite a few shows and you know the difference.
Yeah, from another vocalist to another vocalist. You tearing it up, homie. Oh. Even on the vocals, homie, you tearing it up. Yeah, man. And to all my vocalists out there, you know what I'm saying? You know, put on the best performance. Put on a performance like it's your last. Like the world gonna end after your performance. And that's what I like to see. And that's what I do. I mean, there's been so many times when, you know, I may have forgotten the words to my own song. Yeah, but I kept that shit going. You know what I'm saying?
I've passed out on stage and had to stand back up and like, where the fuck am I? And just start singing.
Exactly. You know, make your show a performance and make the crowd want to get into it. The way I look at the crowd, Sid, is like they're a part of the show.
Oh, 100%.
They're a part. They feed me.
100%. There's a song by a guy named Jackson Brown. You know Jackson Brown? Old kind of folk rock and roll singer. He had a lot of songs in the Forrest Gump movie. But there's a song called The Loadout that's a tribute to the Roadies that he wrote. And
I have to look it up.
I'll send you a link to it because it talks about exactly what you're talking about right now.
Yeah. Like there's been so many times like I've been like, oh, you know, or I don't know if people, you know, it's the same. But here's the thing. Even if it's the same songs, do it like you've never done it before on stage. Do it with the same excitement. So even if you're thinking, oh, it's the same songs over and over again, they seeing the same set, it's the same people. So what?
And maybe like not.
It's your last show.
And maybe not. Even if there's 2 or 3 people out in the crowd that have never seen it before,
exactly.
it might be your 100th time.
You never know.
Remember when we used to work in the haunted house together?
Yeah.
And we would have, 100 groups come through for the night, and by that 100th group, we're doing the same thing that we had already done, and
exactly.
Well, I hate to cut it short. I'm noticing we're dropping cameras here. We've already been going a little over an hour. And I love your message of keep it real. I think let's wrap it up on the message of keep it real.
Exactly.
And where can people check you out besides we're going Jeremy Williams on Facebook? Be sure to hit him up there.
You can find me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram a lot. And
what's your Instagram name?
My Instagram is JJAYROCK1990.
All right, and we're gonna put links down in on all this stuff.
Down. And also, I'm looking for this. This is what I'm looking for. New musicians to do my project, man. I'm looking for a drummer, a bass player, and a guitarist, man. I need y'all support, man. Help a dude out, man. I'm looking for y'all musicians.
And we're going to put links in the bottom of this video with some of Jeremy and them's past stuff so you can see what the band's all about. And if you're
no doubt.
Somebody who might be interested in jamming and being part of a really cool project,
hell yeah.
Hit this guy up. He's got cool stuff.
And I got a song for Sid. Me and Sid going to do a song together. I got a song for you, homie.
But look down in the comments on this for merchandise. Jeremy's got t-shirts, all kind of cool shit like that. We're going to have a PayPal link, all that good stuff. Support.
I got underwear.
All right. Are they clean?
They got a poop stain.
Little brown stain.
Little shit stain.
But right on, folks. Thank y'all much. We'll see you the next time.
Oh, yeah. HWA.
Woo!